There's a strange silence surrounding Old Trafford right now, and it's not for a lack of plans. It's the silence of someone preparing a masterstroke. Manchester United isn't just scouting the market, sources indicate the club is planning a disruption that will shake the very foundations of the Premier League. When you hear rumours about two absolute pillars of Newcastle United, you understand the game has changed. We're not talking about prospects here. We're talking about a £200 million plan to dismantle a direct rival. Bruno Guimarães and Sandro Tonali could be heading to the theatre of dreams. But the question no one is asking the right way is this: can United really rip the heart out of Newcastle and survive the massive pressure that would create? Because this isn't just a signing. It's a declaration of sporting warfare. This is power psychology. By targeting Newcastle's core, United isn't just looking for talent, they are seeking authority. The club knows that to get back to the top, they need players who don't buckle under the weight of the shirt, and snatching the best names from a billionaire project like the Magpies is the ultimate statement of intent that the Ineos era can give the fans. And what's being drawn up behind the scenes could completely shift the axis of the club's midfield for the next 5 years. Stick with me until the end, because there's a strategic detail here that changes everything. Manchester United is prepared to splash up to €200 million this summer to rebuild the squad and push further. Casemiro is on his way out. Ugarte might not stay. Mason Mount is a constant doubt due to fitness. And even Bruno Fernandes, though likely to stay, is part of these strategic talks. If these exits for Casemiro and Ugarte happen, United becomes a technical scorched earth. The problem today is structural. We've lost control of the midfield and, consequently, the control of our own destiny. The team has lost its intensity, but worse is what sports psychology calls a loss of DNA. United looks like a giant without a compass right now. This £200 million window isn't for showing off, it's a rescue operation to reclaim the club's command centre. But here is where the risk begins. When you enter the market with £200 million on the table, you aren't just buying players. What United is actually buying are expectations. And can they be met? The names that shift the weight. According to reports from Spain, the two strongest names for us are Bruno Guimarães and Sandro Tonali. And this is where the level goes through the roof. Let's look at the facts. Bruno Guimarães is the general. 28 years old, 9 goals, and a physical presence that intimidates. He's the type of player who thrives when the stadium is bouncing, the leader United has lacked since our great captains left. Then you have Sandro Tonali, the architect of chaos. A classic number 6 with elite tactical discipline and a reading of the game that makes everything look like it's in slow motion. One brings the fire, the other brings the ice. Now, think with me. One of them would raise the team's level instantly. But together? They don't just bolster the squad, they reset the Premier League hierarchy. There is a contractual detail that completely changes the weight of this deal, and almost no one is talking about it. Bruno Guimarães previously had a release clause tied to specific values and a set activation window. In past windows, a club just had to trigger that amount within the right time frame, leaving Newcastle with very little room to react. Now, imagine if United is monitoring that exact timing. It wouldn't just be an ambitious bid, it would be a surgical move, exploiting a contractual loophole at the perfect moment. This, of course, depends on the current squad not being completely dismantled. It would be United saying, "We aren't reacting to the market, we are taking control of it." But there's a silent tension here. Newcastle isn't your average selling club. And taking two central pieces from a direct rival isn't just about money. It's about power. Besides the superstars, there's a name that seems less noisy but perhaps more strategic: Elliot Anderson. Young, versatile, with a high ceiling. A profile that fits the idea of a deep rebuild. His valuation is in the millions, but there's one factor that could change that number. That factor is the Champions League. If United secures qualification, the financial pressure and the negotiating room change immediately. And the club knows it. The plan doesn't seem to be just spending, but waiting for the right moment to maximize buying power. That's the difference between desperation and strategy. And here is the point most people ignore: maybe United doesn't just want stars. Maybe they want to build a midfield that combines ready-made leadership with sustainable evolution. And that completely changes the risk of the operation. So we come to the central point. What is the true goal behind this move? What's being chased isn't just a signing. United wants a midfield capable of competing with any block in the Premier League. Capable of controlling the tempo, pressing high, and surviving transitions. Guimarães brings leadership and attacking threat. Tonali brings balance and discipline. Anderson brings the future. This isn't about one summer, it's about 5 seasons and maybe returning to the glory days. If this structure comes together, United stops depending on individual flashes and gets a beating heart back in the middle of the pitch. Because in the modern game, he who dominates the middle, dominates the match. The question now isn't if United is dreaming big. The question is if the club has the bottle to execute. Because ambitious dreams require cold decisions. And this could be the window that redefines the future of Manchester United. Who knows, in 3 years, we could be lifting the Premier League trophy once again. Now, I want to hear from you. The question isn't if United has the money, it's if they have the guts. If you could sign the cheque for £100 million right now for just any of them to save the 2025-26 season, who are you picking? The General Guimarães or the Architect Tonali? Pick a side in the comments, because I'll be reading the best arguments. Drop a comment below. And if you want to keep following every move of this potential revolution, subscribe to the channel. Because this story is far from over. And when it ends, it could be the start of a whole new era.